How-Tos with Aaron. Alright guys, today I'm going to be doing some laminate flooring. It's always good to think about your layout when you're first getting started, and think about your doorways and how it's going to be the best way to go through them. Basically all laminate floors lay from left to right, and you just want to get your first course started. You can see I've got the padding down in place. It can be helpful to tape it so it doesn't move around on you. And make sure there's no staples or nails or anything sticking up on the OSB plywood. Good time to screw it down if you got any squeaky spots. A lot of the instructions say to put a block in between your first course and the baseboard. It's not that necessary. It's to prevent it from buckling and swelling. This particular laminate is a vinyl and it's not going to swell at all. And the more important thing is to make sure you don't put too much of a space that your shoe mold won't cover. That's a big problem. So you can see with this laminate flooring, I'm just kind of tilting it up and then wiggling it down, and it kind of shimmies itself right into place. With this one, I take a hammer or a rubber mallet and tap it down on top of the finger locking joint. Some of them you lay it down flat and tap it over to the left so that it slides under. Just look at yours and figure out which one you've got. You can see how I'm kind of racking back here. That's going to help everything sit nice and straight, and then I'll do the cuts when I'm done. Don't worry about it moving around too much. It's going to move when you're first getting started, but once you get the 3 rows in, you can move it right where you need it to be. So this tool right here is going to help us when we're coming against the wall. And it just slides in against the baseboard on one side, and you take a hammer and hit it to the right from the other end. I like to put a speed square in to make sure that my piece I'm hitting slides under all the way. There's also a tapping block, and it has a nice groove in it so it doesn't mess up your tongue and groove pieces, so that you can hit it in tight and make sure everything is connected horizontally. Be careful hitting it without a topping block, because if you damage the tongue and groove, it's going to give you some problems. The tapping block can also be used to get stuff tight from left to right. So if you're having a piece that's not locking in all the way on that first joint, try wiggling it a good bit and see if it'll realign how it needs to. If that doesn't work, you're going to need to take your tapping block and straighten things out. You don't want to leave any imperfections because it's going to mess you up later, so everything's got to lock in all the way. Just tap in the area that's having the problem and see if it'll lock in better. When it is locked in all the way, it's going to lay perfectly flat, and everything's going to want to lay exactly flat like it needs to be. Alright, time to make a cut. You can see how I flipped that one around, and I've got it sitting in the place I need to cut, but backwards. Now all I have to do is mark that with my pencil, cut it, and it'll give me the length of the piece that I need with the tongue and grooves in the right spot. So cutting it's pretty easy. You can just take a speed square and a razor knife if it's vinyl, score it a couple times, and then break it over your knee. If you've got a laminate that's more of a composite type material, you're going to need a miter saw or a skill saw to cut through it. These spots can be where you need that tool to put against the baseboard to hit it over from the right to the left also. Look at that, it's looking nice. We've got the shoe mold on and everything. Check out my channel for other pieces about how to do some of the tricks about laminate floor for getting through doorways and around some weird corners. Hope your floor turns out amazing and be blessed.